Go find the filter in your heating and cooling system. Right now, if you don't know where it is, that's already the problem. Because there's a good chance you're paying an extra $20, $30, sometimes $40 a month, every month, for a part that costs $5 to replace. And most people have never touched it in their lives. I've been working on heating and cooling systems for years, and when someone calls me because their bill suddenly doubled, or a room won't heat up, or the whole system just died in the middle of summer, the first thing I check is the filter, and I'd say half the time, that's the whole problem. A $5 part choking an entire system. Let me show you exactly how something this small costs you this much. So what does this filter actually do? Your heating and cooling system doesn't just make hot or cold air out of nowhere. It pulls the air from your house in, changes its temperature, and pushes it back out. Over and over, all day long. And before that air goes through the system, it passes through a filter, a thin panel, usually cardboard and mesh, that catches dust, hair, pet dander, all the junk floating around your home. That's its job, to keep all that gunk out of the expensive machinery. Now here's what happens over time. That filter slowly fills up. Dust builds on dust, and after a couple of months, it stops being a filter and starts being a wall. Think about breathing through a clean cloth. Easy, right? Now imagine that same cloth packed solid with dust and hair. You'd have to suck way harder just to get any air through. That's exactly what you're doing to your system. Your blower motor, the fan that moves all that air, now has to fight to pull air through a clogged filter. It runs harder, it runs longer, and every extra minute it runs, your meter is spinning. That's the money, right there. It's not disappearing into thin air. It's being burned by a machine straining against a clogged piece of cardboard. But it gets worse, because it doesn't just cost you on the bill. When airflow drops, your whole system gets confused. In the summer, your air conditioner needs good airflow to stay warm enough on the inside. Choke that airflow and the cold part can actually freeze over, ice on your AC, in July. I've pulled open units and found a solid block of ice inside, and the homeowner had no idea why their house was getting hot. In the winter, it's the opposite danger. A furnace with no airflow starts trapping its own heat. It gets too hot, and to protect itself, it shuts down. So your heat cuts out randomly on the coldest night of the year, and you think the whole furnace is dead. It's not dead, it's suffocating. And here's the part that really costs you. If you ignore this long enough, that strained motor eventually burns out. Now you're not buying a $5 filter, you're paying a few hundred for a repair, sometimes more. All because of a part you could have swapped in about 60 seconds. Now let me clear up the myths, because people get this wrong all the time. First myth, you can just clean it and put it back. For most of these filters, the cheap fiberglass and pleated ones, no, they're disposable. Once they're packed with dust, vacuuming them barely helps, and washing them ruins them. You take it out, you throw it away, you slide a new one in. Done. Second myth, the most expensive filter is the best one. Not necessarily. This one surprises people. Those super dense high-end filters that promise to trap everything. On some systems, they're so restrictive they actually choke the airflow themselves, even when they're clean. For a lot of homes, a basic mid-range filter that lets air move freely is the better choice. More expensive isn't always better here. Sometimes it's the opposite. Third myth, you only need to change it once a year. That's the one that gets people. A filter isn't a once-a-year job. It's more like brushing your teeth than going to the dentist. So let's talk about what actually works. The fix is almost stupidly simple. Change the filter regularly. For most homes, that's about every 1 to 3 months. If you've got pets or someone with allergies, lean toward every month. If it's just you in a clean, quiet place, you can stretch it a bit longer. The easiest way to remember? Check it on the first of every month. Pull it out and hold it up to a light. If you can see light through it easily, it's fine. If it looks gray and packed and the light barely gets through, it's done. Replace it. That one habit, 30 seconds once a month, protects a system that cost you thousands of dollars and keeps your bill from creeping up without you noticing. Next, write down your filter size. It's printed right on the edge of the old one, numbers like 16 by 20 by 1. Take a photo of it with your phone so you're never standing in the store guessing. Buy a few at once, they're a couple bucks each, and now you've got no excuse. And one more thing most people never do. While that filter's out, take a flashlight and look into the space around it. If you see a thick blanket of dust coating everything back there, that's a sign it's been way too long and it might be worth having someone actually clean the system out. So here's what all of this really comes down to. Your system was never the problem. The technology works. The machine is fine. It's just that nobody ever told you it needs to breathe. That's all a filter is. It's the lungs of your whole house. And a clogged filter is like trying to run a marathon breathing through a straw. Of course it costs more. Of course it breaks down. It's exhausted. The companies that sell you the system don't make money reminding you to spend $5 once a month. They make money when you call them because it broke. So nobody tells you. And that little panel sits there, quietly filling up with dust, quietly draining your wallet, month after month, year after year, until now. So after this video, go find that filter. Pull it out. Hold it up to the light. You're not just looking at a dirty piece of cardboard. You're looking at the exact reason your bill is higher than it should be. And you can fix it today for about $5.